Number 2 here on the UFC debut. Just, I mean, can you walk us back a few weeks?
Please don't jinx me.
No, yeah. Hopefully it goes forward. But can you just walk us back a few weeks and explain the roller coaster of what it was like those few hours, and then it's happening, it's not happening. Just tell us. Start there.
It was just a weird experience all around, man. Like I got that phone call about 9:30 at night. Had gotten done sparring, just got home, eating like 3 pounds of food, and they're like, "Oh, hey, if you can make weight, you're fighting in the UFC." So I spent the next 3 hours busting my ass, just working, made the weight. We get there, I can't sleep that night. I'm like, "Oh crap, it's finally happening! It's finally happening! I've been doing this for like 14 years. It's finally happening." Get there, like, "All right, we're doing this." And like, had they stopped me when I got there, like, "Oh, it's not happening," I'm like, "Okay, I get it." But like, I weighed in. I was like, "Okay, it's really happening." And then they're like, "It's not gonna happen." So, that sucked. That sucked, man. I can't even begin to explain how much that sucked. Like, fight week's already stressful on anything, but like to be there, to weigh in, to have everything going, and then take it away from you, fucking sucks.
Yeah. What was the most of your, I don't know, anger, frustration in that moment directed towards? Was it Phil?
No, I mean, at first you want to get frustrated at Phil. You want to be mad at Phil. Like take the fight. We're fighters. Take the fight. But at the same time, man, like, I've been doing this for a long time now. I've got a lot of fights, a lot of experience. I understand now more so. I wish I understood earlier that this is a business, and you are your brand. And I don't know. I've never spoken to Phil about it, but it could be a thousand things. Like he may not have wanted to struggle for the weight for a guy who's coming in fresh. He may not. I felt comfortable doing it. I'm not even gonna be mad, man, because at the end of the day, if I go out there and say he gets fucked up, he lost money. That's his brand is taking a hit. So you're just frustrated you don't get the chance, but like I'm not gonna hold it against Phil. Everybody's got look out for you. Number one is the rule for this game.
Yeah, and I guess if we're trying to look at the positive side here, this couldn't have worked out much better. I mean, you get a little more time. You fight on this card in this arena. This is a good alternative, right? If the other thing didn't happen, this is pretty nice as well.
I laugh, man. I'm like, either everybody's like, "Oh, he pushed out." I'm like, dude, Phil may be a mad scientist. He may be a genius. Like, we're at Madison Square Garden now. I'm like, I don't know if he had an inkling, but way to go, Phil Hawes. Like, I'm not mad at the guy. This worked out really well. So if he fell into it, cool. If he planned this, that man is a genius, and I have made a terrible miscalculation.
And last thing for me, I mean, what's kind of the goal here for this UFC run? I feel like you probably think this is icing on the cake, considering some of the earlier stuff that's happened in your career. To be here, maybe you didn't ever imagine it would happen. So now that you are in the UFC, what do you want to accomplish?
Had you asked me that like 6 years ago, you have a vastly different answer. But I'm 34 now, man. Like, luckily for me, I haven't taken too much damage in this sport. I'm still pretty healthy. I'm not walking around with like a bunch of knee surgeries and stuff. But I look in the mirror every day. I see a little bit more gray hair. I see a couple more scars adding on to my face. I'm just like, I'm not going to have this 10-year UFC run that I dreamed of when I started, but that's fine. Like, right now, I'm just here to do cool shit and get a lot of money.
Right here. You mentioned there's obviously been a long journey to the UFC. I think just fans in general were happy when you got that last-minute fight, and then when it was taken away, they kind of felt for you. But now that you're back and you get to fight in Madison Square Garden, have you felt the outpouring of support from the fans?
I really have. I actually felt kind of bad because everybody's like, "Yay! Oh, yay!" Anyway, they're going through it with me, and it's really cool to see. You're going to have people who hate you and want to see you crash and burn. But I've had a lot of love from people I don't know. Apparently, I have a lot of fans in like Turkey and England, which has been a huge outpouring. So like, thank you guys, like, much appreciated. But there's been a lot of people who've kind of watched me on this roller coaster, and I've definitely had a roller coaster of a journey so far. And there's a lot of people. It's weird. They're like, win, lose, or draw, man. I'm just glad to see you do it finally, because like you've been hitting that wall for a long time. So it's been really cool to have that support.
Who wants to see you crash and burn?
You would be surprised. I have made a lot of enemies that I wasn't aware of. I don't know what I did, but I have made a lot of enemies. And like I think it might have been from fighting Magomed twice or whatever, because I'm split down the middle with like Russia.
There's a lot of Russians in the DMs.
Half of Russia loves me. The other half is like, I hope your legs break. And I'm like, all right, I'm sorry, guys.